House affiliation.
Woodhall.
Favorite NBA team.
Sixers.
Favorite show.
The Office.
Favorite type of music.
Hip hop, R&B.
Why basketball?
Why basketball? Simply because I love it. I've loved it since I was 5 years old.
Besides coaching basketball, do you teach any classes, or are you part of like the admissions office?
So I'm assistant dean of admissions. I also teach with the themes group for U.S. Citizens.
How did you get into coaching? I know you were a player, but when on that road did you decide, hey, I love this sport so much that I just want to stick with it in my entire life?
I actually didn't want to coach, which is crazy. I didn't want to coach because I just thought that I just didn't want to be a bad coach. And coaches have so much of an effect on kids, and I didn't know if I would be I didn't know how I would be as a coach, so I was kind of hesitant about jumping into teaching and coaching. And my wife told me I should do it, and my brother told me I should do it. Yep. They know me pretty well. So they suggested I do it, and I decided to do it only for a year, and that year turned to 5.
Where did you first start coaching?
Berkshire School, Sheffield, Massachusetts.
As you started coaching and that process and getting to know the players, you found that, one, you were really good at it, and two, that you really did like doing it, right?
Yeah, working with kids, like I enjoy working with kids, and I enjoy especially helping kids reach their goal, right? And having had instrumental people in my life, for me, I realized that I could do that, and I could do that well, and so Berkshire was a place that was the kind of genesis of the passion to coach.
How has your experience as a player influenced your coaching?
I found myself becoming the coaches that coached me, right? And I say that positively, right? But as a kid and as a player, you don't think that you will ever become the coaches that that coached you, right? Like the coaches that had you run laps and just kind of work really hard. Like, you didn't like them, but those are the coaches that kind of stay in my mind, and they were the coaches that pushed me to become who I was as a player. So as a coach, those are the guys that I try to emulate. Like, those are the guys that I watch and I look at, and now I want to kind of definitely do it with my own flavor, for sure. Yeah. But I'm adding some of this and some of that from those coaches that coached me.
What are you most looking forward to as a new Lawrenceville coach and as a Lawrenceville member in general?
Yeah, I right now, especially with COVID and having kind of lost this season and an opportunity to compete, I'm really looking forward to an opportunity to compete. Like, I just want to get out there and play. The one thing that you don't lose, or I didn't lose, was that competitive drive, right? Like, as a player, you have it, and now as a coach, like, I almost feel like I have it even more.
But this term obviously has been a bit of a bummer for everybody, just because it's all virtual, and everything is so new, trying to do athletics while virtual. So what are some of your hopes and ambitions for this winter specifically, and how has the virtual nature of the term been impacting the training that the team's been getting?
I think that this is an opportunity for a lot of people, right? For a lot of guys to really develop as a player. Like, this is an interesting time for a lot of guys. Like, we're looking at NBA games. Some NBA games have been postponed. You're looking at COVID is the thing that everybody's dealing with right now. So for our guys to find ways to keep their mind going, right? Even if they can't physically get out, they're not in Seattle, if they're not in like a place where they can get out and play, then they have to keep the mind busy, right? They have to watch film and to watch NBA games. So a lot of what we do in the winter is we look at film, we look at things that not only get the kids excited, like the ankle breaker crossovers and the dunks, but we're also looking at certain sets. We're looking at certain defensive, offensive sets and why players play the way they play. And I think that looking at basketball through that lens will help our guys develop as players.
What do you think is the key to having a successful basketball team?
That's a good question. I think it's first and foremost, it's developing a family type of relationship within the guys. Like, so as a coach of the varsity team, I'm looking at every different level, right? Like, so as the varsity JV freshman teams, like we all need to be on some accord, like we need to be on the same page, because I think that's what leads to a winning program. But specifically thinking about the varsity team, I think that we have to be a family. Number one, we have to hold each other accountable, and we have to just go hard. We have to play. I think that's the biggest part. You have to give it all you can. For as long as you can, right? You don't know how long you're going to be able to play this game, and if you leave it all out on the floor, then you're going to be in a really good spot, especially at this level. Thanks, Jupiter. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Davis, and I hope that 2021 treats you well and it treats the team well. Yeah.